Hello, welcome to SharonBeMakinStuff. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these really cool 3D map letters, which will add a very nice personalized touch to any room, regardless of where you decide to put them. So let's go ahead and get right into our materials. The first thing we'll be needing is some hard cardboard and some soft cardboard. Soft cardboard as in, you know, like cereal box stuff, and hard cardboard as in something that's harder than a cereal box, but not too hard, otherwise it'll become difficult to work with. We'll also be needing a map, of course. Today I am using a city map of Seattle, Washington, but if you can get your hands on a world map, I think the end result will look fantastic. So moving on, we'll also be needing some Mod Podge and a sponge brush to apply it. The Mod Podge that I'm using today is the matte finish one because, I don't know, I think it just suits this project better. Next on the list we have a ruler, a pencil, and a binder clip. An X-Acto knife or a similar hobby knife will do. A hot glue gun. Some tape. A pair of scissors, and last but not least, your printed letter. And here I have the measurements that I used to print it out on Microsoft Word, and I'll also have it in the description below. To get started, the first thing we want to do is binder clip our printed letter to our hard cardboard, and then just cut out 2 squares approximate the size of the letter. And you're going to be doing this twice because we'll be needing one for the front and one for the back. And then after that, you can take your X-Acto knife and then cut out the letter. And after you're done cutting, the letter should just pop right out. Now you're going to take the letter that you just cut, place it on the second piece of cardboard, trace around it. Don't forget the middle if you decide to do a letter with a middle, and do the exact same thing, cut it out. So moving on to the soft cardboard, you're going to be cutting out strips with the same width as your letter. And my letter here, as you can tell, is around 4.5 centimeters. So I'm just going to measure that out and then cut out the strips. And for the length, I understand that a cereal box is only so long, so just try to use the longest side and use as much cardboard as you can, because the less strips that we have to cut out, the better. And just to get everything started, you're going to take a little bit of tape and tape your soft cardboard strip to your letter. And notice how that the cardboard strip is facing inside out and that it is not sitting on top of the letter, but on the outside of it. And now you're just going to take your hot glue gun and start gluing away. You're going to connect the cardboard strip to your letter, and don't forget to hold it in place until it dries before you let go of it. So what I like to do when I reach a corner is I like to pre-fold the cardboard before I glue it down. That way we're avoiding any huge and unwanted gaps in the end. And you're just going to continue gluing it down. My mom was watching me do this DIY the whole time and she wanted to help. So thumbs up for Mama Be Making Stuff! If you're finding yourself running out of cardboard strips, all you have to do is line it up and tape another one on. That's why in the beginning I was saying that it's better if you have to cut less strips, but if you have to keep connecting them, that's a-okay as well. So once you are done all the gluing, you can go ahead and cut off the excess cardboard and move on to the inside of the letter. That is only if you chose a letter with a hole. And after you are done all that, you can take your second piece of hard cardboard and place it right on top and just start connecting both pieces with tape. You're going to push the 2 pieces of cardboard against each other as best you can because we want to minimize the amount of gaps in the end. And you're going to continue doing this all the way around the letter, only on one side, because the part that is hot glued, you can just leave that. That part's good. So what I like to do with the corners is I like to cut the tape into 2 pieces and then tape each one down separately. That way you don't get any of that weird bumpy tape in the end. And I recommend using a generous amount of tape, especially for the rounded parts like I did here, because we don't want anything popping out in the end. So moving on to the map, you're going to take your block letter, place it down on a spot that you like on the map, trace all around it, and then cut it out. And once again, we're doing this twice. one for the front and one for the back. So once you are done cutting, you can go ahead and move on to applying Mod Podge onto your cardboard letter. And notice how here I am using a generous amount because we want to avoid any air bubbles from forming, but at the same time you don't want to use too much until it's soaking wet. Next, you're going to take your cutout map, line it up right on top of the cardboard letter, and then press it down. And you're going to do the exact same thing to the back as well. So for the sides of the block letter, you're going to measure out 4.5 centimeters again for the width and cut out a long strip of the map. Then apply that Mod Podge and start gluing it down. If you find yourself running out of the map strip, just cut out another one, continue where you left off, and keep gluing it down. So for the whole of the letter, I find that it's easier if you measure out the exact length first before you glue it down, like I did here, just to make sure it fits perfectly so you don't have to make any adjustments afterwards. And same dealio here, just apply that Mod Podge and glue it down. So after you're done gluing down your map pieces onto your cardboard letter, you can let that dry for around 15 to 20 minutes. And after that, you can go ahead and apply your final coat of Mod Podge right on top, which is going to seal everything in and give it that very nice matte finish. You're going to let that dry for around 20 minutes, and that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this DIY. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to Sharon Be Making Stuff if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!